This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by Sam Jones here at the Joyce-Takam press conference. Sam, how are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you doing this for a second time. There was an issue with my audio for the first take, so we'll try and whiz through everything. Obviously, it's Joyce-Takam Fight Week, second time round. You've just seen Carlos for the first time up on stage. Interesting kind of interactions. He didn't really seem to buy into your spy comments, though.
I didn't say anything about sparring. Dev asked me, and all I've said is I've watched him spar, which I have. That was the end of it. He was just not very happy about it, was he, Takam? But he was more angry with Dev, wasn't he? Like for saying that can he knock Joe out? And he was like, ah, have you seen the biceps? So he was like, he wasn't happy, was he, Takam? But it's what it is.
On the spy comments, so I did ask Carlos about him, and he said that if that's deemed to be true, then you guys are scared of him to go and do that because he thinks it's a bit disrespectful because he would never do that if it was the other way around.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, to me. You know.
Oh, right. No, someone sent me the sparring footage. I didn't even really ask for it. I just said, oh, he's sparring. He was like, yeah, do you want me to record? And I was like, yeah, cheers.
Moving forward, just with this fight, what should everybody expect on Saturday night?
Listen, it's two guys that come to fight, so it's going to be a great fight for the fans, so don't miss it.
Carlos said himself he's bringing war. We all know how fantastic Joe's jab is. How key and crucial will that be come Saturday night?
I don't know, to be honest, Andy. Like, we'll see. We'll see what Takam turns up. Whether it's the best Takam, then Joe's ready for him. If it's the worst Takam, dirty Takam that comes in with his head, Joe's ready for it.
Do you expect this to go the distance, or is it one which just finish inside?
Honestly, I'm not going to say, oh, Joe's going to knock him out in 3 rounds. No, Takam's a warrior, so it could go the distance. It could not. Like, if he stands and trades with Joe early, then I can't see the fight going too long because Joe's so strong. So we'll see.
Obviously, earlier in this week as well, we saw Joe officially became the WBO #1 mandatory to the AJ Usyk winner. Firstly, what was your reaction to hearing that news?
Yeah, listen, Joe deserves it. He's worked very hard. He's boxed all over the world. Hard fights after hard fights. He deserves his chance.
No,
it means nothing unless he slips up on Saturday, so he has to concentrate on the task in hand on Saturday, which he is doing.
I mean, how much more pressure does that bring to Saturday?
Well, about pressure, but it just... Joe knows what's at stake. There's a lot at stake, so he can't slip up now, but there was a lot at stake against Dubois. So, let's go.
Obviously, beforehand, a lot of people were looking at the potential Fury-AJ Undisputed bout. If AJ comes through Usyk and Fury comes through Wilder, would you guys be willing to step aside for an AJ Fury Undisputed?
It's too early to mention about step asides and what's. Joe wants to fight for the world heavyweight title, Andy, but we'll see what happens.
Just get your thoughts on your other heavyweights as well. How are Johnny Fisher and Soldakis doing, and obviously Guido?
Soldakis is going to be fighting in October. Johnny Fisher, August the 7th against Danny Whitaker. Guido's going to fight in mid-October.
Obviously, seen that Johnny's been sparring with Joe. How did that go?
It's always fun spars with them too. It's always fun spars. Johnny brings the heat. He was a chief support sparring for. Listen, Takam's rough, he's tough, but he's no rougher and tougher than someone like Johnny Fisher, who's big and strong. Johnny's 17 and a half stone, so Joe's had all the sparring. Babic, Johnny Fisher, so Joe's had all the types of rough house sparring ready for this fight on Saturday.
Babic was what I wanted to come on to as well. Talk to me about that sparring with Joe.
Wild. like Babic brings the heat. Babic has got big, massive Croatian knackers, so he comes and brings the heat and tries to stick it on Joe. Babic can box at cruiserweight as well. Do you know what I mean? He's small enough to be able to go to cruiserweight as well and be a problem there as well. He's going to be a hard man to beat, Babic.
I just want to get your thoughts on some potential fights in the heavyweight division. Dillian Whyte, Charles Martin, would you be interested by that?
Yeah, Charles Martin's a lot better than what people think he is. I've seen him sparring up in Big Bear. He's no slouch, Charles Martin, if he turns up and actually fights. Dillian Whyte, they don't like each other. Why not do it?
And then the other one being Otto Wallin versus Andrew Ruiz Jr. Saw a few people mention that.
Yeah, that's another good fight. I was mentioning to you off camera, Andy Ruiz's last performance, his punch resistance didn't seem to be what it was like against Joshua, who's a massive puncher. He kind of looks more sturdy when he's fat, doesn't he, Ruiz? So, I don't know, it's a great fight though.
One thing I did forget to ask about Joe is what is his training situation? Is Ismail Salas still a part of the camp? Or?
Joe can't travel to America at the moment because of the restrictions, so Steve Broughton is doing a magnificent job working closely with Salas, but Steve's Joe's coach.
So moving forwards, once things hopefully open back up, will Ishmael be brought back in?
Yeah, Joe will go to the United States and train with Ismail Salas, but also with Steve as well.
Sam, appreciate your time for a second time today. Thank you, Speed to Boxing Social.
No problem, Andy.
Time,
Cheers.
man.